Hey everyone, this is Nick. In our last video, we were working with Copilot and asking it to help us with some formulas to split apart data from an export of a survey that was a question that was select all that apply or multiple select from Microsoft Forms. So if you're in Microsoft Forms or Google Forms, you know that if you put a select all that apply question there, it exports the data all in one single column and your responses are separated by a semicolon. But to analyze them, we really want those to be split apart into individual columns with 1 and 0 data based on whether or not the respondent selected that response. So Copilot did a great job for us. You can see here in the blue range right here, it gave us all of those 1s and 0s. It split apart those response options really nicely. I wanted to see if I could take this a step farther and ask Copilot to give me a bar chart, but just not any bar chart, a framed bar chart. A framed bar chart is not a default chart type in Excel, but it's one that I use all the time in my work because I have a lot of select all that apply survey questions that I'm visualizing in charts, and I really like the framed bar chart. Think about it like a progress bar. There's a 100% gray bar in the background, and then the data bar that is in a color on the foreground, and it really gives the visual nod to the fact that every respondent could select every response up to 100% of the time, a select all that apply option. So here's my prompt text that I'm going to ask it. It's going to say, please make a framed bar chart showing the percentage of fruit preferences selected on the survey. Let me know if you need instructions about what a framed bar chart should look like. I wanted to include that because it's not a default chart type, and I wanted to see if Excel would kind of come back to me, or Copilot would come back to me with some clarifying questions here. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that prompt. We're going to open Copilot right here from the icon. And now I have a model picker, and I can choose which model, which generative model I want to select from. I'm going to go down here to the Anthropic models just because I've heard that those work a little bit better for data visualization. So I'm going to see if that works. I'm going to go ahead and paste that prompt in there, and we're going to push enter, and we'll see what happens. Copilot probably will give me a few clarifying questions, and that's what I'm hoping it does. Sometimes Copilot will give me a few options, ask me which of these options would you like. Here are those questions right now. I like to make sure I build this exactly as you envisioned before I proceed. Confirm a couple of details. 1, framed bar chart style. I want to make sure I match what you have in mind. Could you describe? Let's see. I don't want the standard clustered bar, frame, percentage denominator. Let's see. I want a bar chart where each bar is shown inside a 100% frame with a full height background represented. So this unselected portion is visible as a frame. Something else. Standard custom column bar with a visible border frame around the plot area. I don't want that. I think I want the option B. I'm going to go ahead and just select that option B. I think option B is best. Make sure the 100% bar is a light gray fill color. I wanted to make sure that that happens, and I'm just going to push enter and see what happens. We'll see if we get a chart that we like. I know from previous attempts that we're probably going to have to do a lot of formatting tweaks to make it a really nice chart, but I think Copilot is getting a little bit better at actually giving us data visualizations that we ask for and putting them into a live format so that we can actually edit them as well. Looks like Copilot is doing a little bit of thinking. Sometimes Copilot lately has been taking a little bit long. Hopefully in the future it'll go just a little bit faster. It looks like we got one right here, and let's see if it works. So you can see my Copilot, my analysis table right here. They did the analysis for me, and it looks, I think it looks correct. And then here is that chart. I'm going to click on done, and let's just move the Copilot pane back. All right, this is exactly what I had in mind, a nice framed bar chart. Now we're going to have to do some formatting tweaks here. Now the reason I know this is a live chart is because when I click it, you can see the chart design tab is activated. I can click inside the chart, do all the things that we're used to doing here. It's coming from this data range source, and I'm wondering if, what I'm curious about is if this is a stacked bar or I think it's a stacked, it gave me a stacked bar chart instead of a clustered bar chart, which we have videos about how to make, but this is totally fine. I think it works really nicely. The design tweaks that we're going to make to this, I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller, and we're going to push that there. I'm going to get rid of the grid lines, of course. We're going to make sure that the font is big, 14 points. My title is in the upper left corner, also black. I'm going to make that 18. And of course I would put a different title, a better title here. I'm going to actually go ahead and remove format axis. I'm going to remove the axis line here, no line. I'm going to make sure that the gap width is about 50%. It's always defaulting to 150, and I'm going to get rid of the x-axis there. Let's go ahead and up the font size of the data labels to 14 points, and then we're going to put those labels on the inside of the end of the bars. That looks really, really nice. And I don't want a border around my chart, so I'm just going to say no line. Look at that, a really nice framed bar chart inside of Excel that Copilot gave me just from that prompt. So I think Copilot's doing a pretty good job. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Actually giving me a chart type that is not a default Excel chart type. I think that's pretty cool and pretty promising, I think, for the future. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it. You'll get notified every time I post a new video in data design, usually PowerPoint, Excel, or Word. Had a great time making this for you, and I cannot wait to see you all next time.